Hey, Russ. You've been in this league a long time, seen all kinds of stuff. The injury stuff you guys have dealt with this year, just how crazy is that to see one thing after another?
Man, it's crazy. It's tough, I mean, I haven't seen Keegan or I seen Keanu say he's feeling better, but just getting Zach back and now Keegan. So we just got to lean on each other. Tough times you got to better have next man up and find a way to be able to figure it out.
What can you say just maybe about the fight you guys showed in that second half? You guys fall down 26 and I think cut it to 4.
Yep. To show the standard we are supposed to play with, I think you see a big difference in how it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to look like, and we got to be able to do that night in, night out basis. We got to scrap. Only way to be able to get out of this hole is to be able to scrap our way out. And proud of the way we kind of responded. But unfortunately, it didn't come out with the win. But
it is, and kind of following up on that too. Like you guys, you Dennis, you have guys on this team that kind of know how to get under the skin of opposition a little bit. And
yeah.
I saw the moment you and Gary Trent, I think it was. And how much do you guys kind of need to rely on that to kind of show an identity?
You know what, man? I mean, I would speak for me personally. I don't think we need to rely on it. You have to come in the game prepared and be able to compete. I mean, that's just a part of just competing. And the compete level needs to be higher. And and I will start with myself and take the blame for that, because I think as a point of attack, you got to be able to have energy and high energy, which is I pride myself on doing that. So we got to be able to do that, all night long, and that's gonna give us the best chance of winning.
You guys have ran the same starting lineup for a little while now, and offensively kind of been struggling there. What have you seen, and how could that be cleaned up?
You got to figure it out. Whatever decisions that's made, that's who on the floor. You got to play the cards you dealt and make the best of it. And it's our job to be able to make each other better with who's on the floor.
Russ, the organization is giving you a shout out for most points scored by a point guard in the beginning of the first quarter. What was it like to have that moment with the fans and them celebrating
Yeah,
here?
I mean, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the acknowledgement. A lot of times you get caught up traveling, playing the game, practice. You don't get a chance to kind of sit down and take it all in, and I'm grateful for moments like that to be able to share with fans, teammates, and people that's watching the game. So I'm thankful for that.
Zach, 35 minutes tonight after missing 9 games. Just how are you feeling physically? Where are you at? Just trying to get back into flow.
I feel good. I had a tough ankle injury. Was able to come back. I did a lot of rehab, so I felt good to go out there.
Zach, was this always the target date to come back?
No, I was just waiting on whatever day my ankle felt the best. I think you guys saw me out there shooting for the last week, so it was sometime this week. I was just ready to go.
Is it kind of a coincidence that there's a lot of trade talks of possibly being traded to Milwaukee, and you guys play Milwaukee tonight?
I think there's been trade talks with a lot of teams. I don't think I worry about that. I think that's your guys' job to try to put some storylines out there. So you can run with them.
Sorry about that, but to go 35, like you mentioned a minute ago, just how do you feel like you performed in given the situation?
I did okay. I was able to go out there and give an effort. I think in the second half, the group we had out there gave a good effort, and it was a little too late. But I felt fine, and I'll get more and more of my rhythm back. But I've played a lot of games in the NBA before, so it's nothing new.
Obviously, you're not out there for all of it, but it feels like a lot of this team, there's stretches where you guys are struggling a lot offensively and others where it's clicking more. Do you notice a noticeable difference in what leads to your guys' success versus slowing down a little bit there?
No, I mean, at this point, we're just trying to find anything that works and stick with it. you guys watched all these games as well as I played in most of them and seen them. It's frustrating for everybody, and we're just sticking with it. But it's tough if you can't put a finger on it. At this point, you just gotta keep trying.
Hey, Zach. Good game today, 20 points off the bench. What was the decision in there to bring you off the bench? Was it just kind of coming back from injury, or was it something else?
No, Doug just told me when I told them I think I'll be available for today. Last couple of games out, they were asking me, "Are you thinking about it or not?" And he told me he'd rather have me come off the bench today. So I said, "Okay." I ain't done it in a while, but it was fine.
And then post game, how's the ankle feeling now?
Tired. I'm more. Just I haven't played full court, in an NBA game and not games. My ankle feels fine. That's why I wanted to make sure I was 100% before I came back. So.
Yeah, Zach, how the injury stuff you guys have dealt with like repeatedly over and over, like how difficult has that been? How I know injuries happen, but it does seem like this team's been bit by it a little harder than average.
Yeah, I mean it sucks. It's part of the game, obviously, but you never want to have somebody in, somebody out. We have different lineups every other game, but that's part of what you have to deal with. I want to know how Keegan's doing. Obviously, he's been battling a lot of stuff. I just got off of one. Domas has been hurt, and guys in and out the lineup from there out. It sucks. It feels like you're doing patch jobs, but we just keep doing go out there and do what you can individually and try to help. Yep.
Doug, another injury tonight, actually two. Just what do you know of any of it? Maybe you don't, but also just like injury to insult here.
Yeah, I don't know yet. So I mean, it's not even for me to speculate. Obviously, we'll get everything, and you guys will know as soon as we do.
Hey, Doug, why do you think it took to the fourth quarter for you guys to kind of get some spark?
It's a good question. We found a group that plays to our standard. And I told them in there, like, I respect the hell out of you guys because that's what it looks like. And you know what? They dead tired because that's what it takes. And anything else is not our standard. Tough, competitive, disciplined, professional, team-oriented, and accountable. Identities on offense and defense. They were playing with pace, space. They were sharing the ball. They felt us. We make them feel us. They competed at a high level. And you damn have to communicate if you're going to be flying around the floor like that. But that's the standard that it takes to be a Sacramento King.
Wrapping up that, I know Zach was a part of a good portion of that coming off the bench tonight. How did he look in that first game back?
Tired. No, he looked really good. Much respect. I mean, listen, NBA basketball is hard when you haven't played for, if you play not play for 48 hours, you lose a little bit of conditioning. It's just how it is. But it's been a week or whatever it's been, and to come back on that stage and be aggressive and all those things, he played 35 minutes. So, yeah, he did a good job. Appreciate it and happy to see him back.
Doug, I know what the professional response is to all the injury stuff, the next man up, and you just, I know how you're conditioned, but what's the honest, thoughts that go through your head when you just see one thing after another, and you can't seem to move past it?
Jay is hard, man. You feel for your kids first and foremost. It's just difficult. Yeah. You guys good? Appreciate y'all.